Yo, 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 what's up, family? What's your deal? Welcome to the Ragu show, another exciting episode. And check it out. Hey, they ain't extended Geno yet. What's going on? Thank you guys for joining me. I'm your host, Ragu. Please like, share, subscribe, comment on the show. Thanks for the support that you've been giving us. Let me not forget my sponsor, shebangboutique.com, S-H-E-E boutique, S-H-E-E bangboutique.com. Go and get your girl some fly. I'm telling you, it'll be worth it to you. All right, so where we stand, the Raiders. A lot of people are not happy with what they're doing in free agency. Me, I'm not really mad at them. They went out, so the signings, if you want to include, you don't include Max because Max wasn't a free agent, but it was a deal that got done. So they end up trading for Geno Smith. They signed Eric Stokes to play DB. He's gonna play corner. He's got like a bigger corner, press type corner. Jeremy Chin, a versatile defensive back, can play slot, can play deep safety, can play box safety. Hard hitting guy. So also Landon Collins, another bigger defensive back, can play the safety and corner as well. So they got some versatile, bigger, harder hitting DBs. Then they got Elandon Roberts, the linebacker from Pittsburgh. He's going to play Mike linebacker in the Raiders scheme, from what I understand. The green dot guy. They're going to let him play. I was talking to my main man Coop just yesterday, and he said we got a good one. As all you know, Coop is a Steeler fan. He said we got a good one if we let him play. So I guess the Steelers was taking him out on passing downs and things like that. It's not the strength of his game. It's not the pass coverage game. So I guess the Steelers were using him in a kind of like a first and second down run situations, mostly only, or in the National Football League, they throw on every down just about now. So it's kind of tough to do that nowadays. Back in the day, you used to could go, give me a first and second down, middle linebacker, and then I'll bring in my pass guy on third down. Well, you can't really get away from that because they'll just pass on first down. So yeah, if they let him play, and from what I've seen, I'm gonna just tell you what I saw. I seen this guy out there basically like suplexing, pulling guards. No exaggeration, man. Like they run up on him. He was sitting them on their pockets, bro. And you might say, well, that's not making a tackle, but what it does a couple things. Sets the tone. All right. So now that's in that guard's head when he has to pull. When they call a pull play, he's looking for 50. That was his number on the Steelers. It's probably going to be his number on the Raiders. Wasn't nobody number 50 that I remember. That was worth keeping the number we're talking about. So that sets the tone. Then that takes up a lot of the space in there, right? If you knock the big lineman on his pockets and he goes backwards, that's probably going to be where the running back is running the football at, back there where he gets knocked. So he's either got to navigate around that, or that creates an opening for another Raider defender to come in on the angle and get the running back on those wide running plays. It's just, that's how you play it. If you play football, you know what I'm talking about. You just go put a hat on that blocker. Don't go around him. That creates space. Just go through him. And that's what Landon Roberts, I saw him doing that on more than one highlight that I saw. So with those pickups, they also re-signed Malcolm Kuntz. That can actually be counted as a signing because he would have been a free agent if they didn't sign. They gave him a 12-year prove-it deal on a 1 year. Malcolm had 8 sacks in 23, and then as we all know, he had to sit out 24. So just say if Max comes back, has a bounce back year, and goes double digit, 12 or more sacks, and then Malcolm's doing 8 to 10 himself, and then the rest of the team can get us about 5 to 7, right? Now we're up, around 30 sacks. We're getting after quarterbacks, man. Uh, so I'm liking it. I'm liking Tyree Wilson too to get a little bit better and get some and add to that sack total, right? So people are upset because the Raiders aren't making the big splash moves and what people consider names that they're signing, but they're actually making solid moves for what they're trying to do. So they let Spillane, Merrick, and Hobbs go. I never spoke on Spillane leaving. I think I did say I would rather him stay. I I did say that I would feel some kind of way if they let Merrick go, but they did. However, like I said before, this is months ago, and people in the comments, this, that one commenter in particular, you know who you are. So if you see this, please comment. We can talk about this again. I knew because I kind of know a little inside on Merrick's situation. I knew he was gonna get paid, man. His agent was looking for that Derwin James, that Jesse Bates type bread, bro. And I had said that. And my one guy was like, he's nowhere near that type of player. He's not going to get that money. Well, he did. He did. He got $51 million for 3 years in Carolina. All right, so the Raiders didn't want to give him that. The Raiders have some guys that they want to see if they can play or not. Trey Taylor, right, the kid that got from Air Force. Chris Smith, the guy from Georgia, IPM, who actually got in and played extensive time last year and did well. At first, he was a bit suspect, but then he settled in and actually played well. They re-signed him, so that's another move they did because he was a RFA. He was a restricted free agent too. So the Isaiah Paul signing was also a move as well. And they have these guys. Oh, they also let Marcus Epps go. Marcus Epps went to New England with Spillane. Marcus Epps was coming off the ACL. So good for him. I'm glad he was signed with somebody, but he's gone too. So Raiders got a few safeties that they need to see if they can play. Plus, they got Jeremy Chin and Landon Collins that can play safety, all right, with IPM. So that's not going to be a concern. People were talking about safety was an issue. I believe safety is pretty much sold up, especially if Trey Taylor can play. If he's taking a step forward this year, then we really don't need another safety, right? Cornerback room wise, we got Jacorian, we got Jack Jones, we got Eric Stokes. They just re-signed Darnay Holmes. Darnay Holmes didn't do a bad job when he was in there. When he was pressed for action last year, that's number 30. He's back. So might need to bring one more body in there, perhaps a top flight guy, maybe in the draft, maybe. But right now, if you told me we was gonna run, just say Stokes, um, Jacorian Bennett, and Jack Jones, I wouldn't necessarily be mad at that, man. And then we're gonna run Chin and Polamalu, right? And we got Collins to throw in the mix there. He wants to start. So let's just say we got Chin. playing big nickel, Collins playing safety with Polamalu and Jack and Jacoria, right? With Stokes kind of backing up that situation. So, and then Darnay Holmes too, being in the mix at the slot as well. So, man, I'm not mad at that, actually. Jacorian was pretty much shut down. We know what Jack brings, and I'm interested to see the new guys, what they add to the mix. I know Chin will come across your head. Jeremy Chin is a hitter. So that's what we got, man. We getting aggressive. They are trying to match Max Crosby's intensity as far as the defensive side of the ball. How many times have we been out there, you guys watching the Raider game, it seemed like Max the only one going hard. Max is the only one out there trying to take people's heads off. Well, they brought in some guys in E-Rob, Landon Roberts, Jeremy Chin, even Landon Collins. They brought in guys that's going to come across your head, man. They brought in at least 3 more guys that's known for hitting hard in the National Football League. And I think the Raiders need that, man. And that's one thing about Merrick. He was a good tackler, but he didn't really hit that hard, right? And you guys might be mad at me what I'm about to say. Spillane too, bro. He wasn't really hitting that hard to me. He caught a lot of hits. If Spillane hit you high, a lot of times he would just stalemate right there and be like wrestling with you. We want a guy that's gonna hit dudes and they fall to the turf. And that's what Roberts is. That's what Jeremy Chin is. I'm telling you, I've seen it. You can go watch highlights of these guys. I might even put some up at some point because we got a lot of time this offseason. But yeah, so that's the signings, man. Now, noticeably, what they haven't done, what position group they haven't made a move on is wide receiver. And I'm thinking with that, the other wide receiver position opposite of Jacoby Myers kind of being open. We had guy Terrence Marshall Jr. Running that position. Don't get me wrong, he did a good job for what we needed him for in that situation last year. No disrespect to Marshall, but we need to upgrade that spot. This is where it gets a little dicey because I'm like, let's go T-Mac in the draft then. And there is some precedence for that because my main man Spy Tech was a part of bringing Mike Evans to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They drafted him 5th overall, if I'm not mistaken. All Mike Evans has done is had 1,000 yards every single season that he's played in the National Football League, which is like 10 now. Last year he did it, and he missed 4 games. So there's precedence for our GM drafting a big franchise type wide receiver early in the draft. Don't forget that. Pete Carroll loves running backs. Now, there's a lot of running backs in this draft class. We don't know exactly who they have their eyes set on. The only person's name that I saw come up attached to the Raiders was Trevor Etienne, Travis Etienne's brother. And that was down in the draft, down into the later rounds. I want to say 4th, 5th round. I am actually not mad at that. They just picked up, I forgot, they picked up Raheem Mostert. So all the other signings were mostly on defense. I did forget that one signing. Raheem Mostert, they signed. Raheem Mostert missed most of last year with an injury. Raheem Mostert had 22 touchdowns in 2023, though, with 1,000+ yards. So that's what, we got a guy that year before last scored 20 touchdowns. And dude is fast. If he's still anywhere near where he used to be, dude is one of the faster running backs in the National Football League. And been a bit injury prone and is a bit long in the tooth, but can definitely help as long as we're not sort of relying on him for to carry the load. Pause. If he's going to be the bell cow, then we might be in trouble because he's a little long in the tooth and has had the injury history. So I forgot to mention that we signed Mostert. So going back to the draft, Petey loves running backs. Petey might draft a running back in the first round. Petey might draft a running back in the third, fourth, fifth round. He might draft two running backs in two different rounds. He's a running back guy. Petey also likes DBs. Also likes to draft defensive backs. So here's where in the draft the Raiders might go cornerback. They could go wide receiver. I'm talking with the first round pick right there, wide receiver. They could go first round pick and pick a running back. That kid Ashton Jeanty, who they think is a generational. Most people that I talk to think is one of those backs that we're gonna be talking about for years to come. Right? He did put up some gaudy numbers. He put up some gaudy numbers at Boise, and I was listening to my boy Q. Shout out to Q Myers. I always shout my boy Q out, man. And the character of this kid shines through because he could have left Boise in the NIL deal era and went and got paid, man. But this guy stuck it out with the guys that he originally decided to go to school with, right? Just imagine, Jeanty could have checked out and went to man, any number of places. Ohio State, probably could have went to Arizona State too. Probably could have went to the University of Arizona. Could have went to Notre Dame. Probably could have went anywhere, man. But he stayed at Boise and played out his time with his guys. He honored his commitment. I like that character-wise. So with how talented he is and the character that he displayed and the fact that, you pick up his fifth-year option, you're going to have a solid 5 years of this guy and let him get paid on his rookie deal, getting drafted that high. So, he gets a good, nice, solid contract, man. You know how they do running backs. So I'm actually not mad at Jeanty at 6. I'm not mad at T Mac at 6. But I feel like it needs to be one of them two at 6. That's where I'm at right now as we approach the draft. We're still in March 18th, 2024, but that's what I'm thinking. Now, also, what we've been discussing, well, I've heard discuss, anybody we're discussing, we're about to discuss it right now. Free agent wide receiver market, former Raider, Amari Cooper still available. Cooper Kupp signed with Seattle. I think got a 10-year, 3-year, $45 million deal, if I'm not mistaken. I think the best guy left is Amari. Or there's Stephon Diggs as well. Diggs hasn't signed with anybody. Diggs is coming off ACL. He's plus side of 30 years old, coming off ACL. My question to you guys, should we bring Amari back home? Everybody knows we drafted Amari Cooper, 2nd overall, back in Oakland. I believe John Gruden, the 2018 draft. It was before Gruden. Gruden traded Amari away. So this had to be the 2016 draft, number 2 overall, and then Gruden ended up trading him away. So he would have been drafted by Jack Del Rio and those guys, Reggie McKenzie. Anyway, guys think we should bring Amari back. Amari is a solid wide receiver, man. If we started with Trey Tucker, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, Amari Cooper, let's say Ashton Denty, I don't I don't think I'm mad at that, bro. Honestly, I don't think I'm mad at that. Or say we get Omarion Hampton or something as a starting tailback to put out there with that receiving core. When in doubt, get the rock to Brock. Um, and then Jacoby. Go ahead, bring Amari on back into the fold. Tucker in the slot for the speed. And then I would say draft a guy. Draft like a wild card guy, maybe a Savion Williams out of TCU or something like that. I can't say that I'm mad at that, but we would have to bring Amari in, man, like, pretty quickly before he gets signed. If you don't sign the veteran wide receiver, then I definitely advocate for going ahead and locking in T-Mac, Ted McMillan from the University of Arizona with that number 6 pick. All right, now, the second round, I'm thinking running back. They got Mostert, guys we talked about earlier, but I am kind of torn because there are a few backs that I think can play in the league. It's going to be pretty good. Not generational guys, I don't think. I think generational, we're talking Hampton and Genty. But perhaps even if we wait till the third round, we could get a good running back still. There's a list of running backs. We went through all of them before. If you guys watched the show, we went through a whole list of running backs. I named like 13 that I think is going to be able to play in the league. They all obviously ain't going to be stars, but draftable guys, draft grade guys, 13 running backs. So you could wait to third round and then second round, try to go interior O line if you can, or O line, period. Get somebody on that O line for that in that second pick at number 37. And then at 68, you could probably get a running back. You might even be able to get a running back in the fourth round. So we might be able to go, either T Mac or Genty, then go Gray Zabel, interior O line. And then, that third pick, in the third round, man, number 68, we might could gamble and not get a running back and wait to pick number 107 and get a running back because it's that many guys. But you're going to start to get the kind of bottom tier guys at that point. But still, you still get a good running back. And you got Mostert and you still got Zamir White in the fold. Alexander Madison did leave, signed with, I forget right now who he signed with, but Alexander Madison is gone as well. So, what you guys think, man, with that first pick? Should we getting a receiver? Should we bring Amari in? Get a running back with the first pick. Heard Pete Carroll also say a couple things. He said the running backs weren't as bad as people were making it out to be, and that he felt like the O line played pretty well. So I don't know what he saw, but we all saw that the O line didn't play that well, especially early in the season, and then the running game was trash. So maybe in Pete's mind, that was all scheme and coaching, and he saw something. Maybe I feel like we need a running back, wide receiver. So right now, man, The question is, if the Raiders took the field today, are they better than last year? Answer, don't take a long, short time to answer. Think about the question. If they ran out there right now with what they have, are they better than last year's team? Let's just say Bennett is ready. Everybody that was hurt is ready to play. Wilkins, Max, Kuntz, all those guys are ready to play. If you ask me, man, I would say yeah. I would say yeah. They're better. They're better. I think the defense hits harder. You got Malcolm back. You Landon Roberts is more of a hitter in the center, in the middle right there. And then, there's going to be another guy because Diablo also left. Diablo's gone. He signed with Atlanta. So maybe there's Eichenberg there. Maybe it's Bernie or Gaynor, one of those young guys. But they weren't bad. They let Masterson go too. So, but they weren't bad. And then, like we said, Jack, Jacorian, Chin, or Landon Collins, or Stokes, Landon Collins, or Chin, and Polamalu in the back. The defense is better to me. Christian Wilkins back, Max back at 100, Kuntz back, the Landon Roberts. It's either going to be Eichenberg, Bernie, or Gaynor. Let's just say, for purposes right now, because we're saying who's on the roster right now. And then those guys on the back end. Pause. I feel like they're better on defense. Offensively, they got Geno Smith. We was running Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. Geno basically added to what we already had, and then they added Mostert too. Right? Lost Madison. And I think Abdullah is not on the team right now either. So with Mostert, Sincere McCormick, Zamir White, and then Myers, Marshall, Bowers, Tucker, still Michael Mayer as well. They haven't done anything with him, although we did hear he was on the trade block. Man, maybe not a lot better. Okay, also Alex Kappa, right, on the O-line. So maybe not leaps and bounds better, but even offensively, man, that's a little bit better team. Defense is a better team, more hard-hitting team, better coached team, right? We can agree with that. No disrespect to AP. So right now, man, the Raiders are better. Now they only won 4 games, though. So how much better am I talking? Who knows? Right now, I'm thinking maybe at least 3 games or so better. That's still only 7-10. So they're not a playoff team yet. So we'll see, man. We'll see. The Raiders right now haven't made a move on any receiver or any other free agents. It looks like they're going to stand pat. Haven't re-signed Geno Smith. So now that could mean that they're still open to drafting a quarterback at 6. But I don't think Ward or Sanders will be there at 6. I think Ward and Sanders is going 1 and 2. All right. So, like I always say, man, I ain't going to hold you. That's all I got for you. Thanks for joining me. Just win, baby. And peace.